we obviously, some news dropped about the Browns and stadium renovations and whatnot. Bought a bunch of land over by the Cleveland Airport. I think it's called Brook Park. It used to be home. It's home to like former Ford Motor Factories. It's a giant piece of land. How many acres?
176.
76 acres, which is a lot of acres.
Yeah.
Good for them. That's expensive. I know how much an acre goes for these days.
Yeah, about 20.
So
about 20 G's.
So that, and then there's speculation. Are they looking to move the stadium outside of downtown? Are they just making this as to try to put pressure on the government in Cleveland to start partying up some money for stadium renovation, all this good stuff? I didn't realize how bad the Browns stadium was in terms of condition. I always thought, it's a newer stadium. It looks really nice, like from afar. Apparently it's one of those don't look too close because we have a Dog Pack member who, he builds buildings in Cleveland. He's working on the Sherwin-Williams Tower right now. And he knows a lot about like the structural integrity of the Browns. I don't know if he worked on it, but or if he knows guys who worked on it. But he says the place is, don't be afraid to go there, but it's being held together a lot by there's a lot of stucco tape and bubble gum and duct tape. So I never realized it was in that bad a shape. He said there's no, putting a roof on the building in its current state is not an option. Is what he said. He's talked about the ground soil over there. He knows a lot about the stuff up there. So I know the Browns are trying to put pressure on Cleveland government to come up with stuff for this. I know the Haslam's want to reinvigorate the entire shoreline of Lake Erie up there. They have big plans for that. So people who bash on Haslam, I know he's made some mistakes, but the dude is he invests a lot in Cleveland. He's trying to turn Cleveland into a spot. So you can't hate on the guy for that. But where do you guys stand in terms of leave it on the lakefront downtown, move it to Brook Park or somewhere else? I know I've been on the record saying they should move it out of downtown. I've heard people talking about it in our Discord, Peter and Kenny Mack, when it left it downtown. Where do you guys stand on this?
Do you want me to go?
Justin, you go. You know what? Let me go first because you go to games. Okay. You go to every home game. So your opinion might be a little stronger than mine. When I go to games, downtown sucks. Downtown blows, man. The traffic is awful. And I love the idea of having it downtown. They need a better logistical system to make it operate better. If that's part of the plan, okay, cool. Keep it where it is or renovate it. But I just want a freaking retractable roof. I'm sure Justin feels the same way. I'll let you talk here in a sec. I don't want to go sit in the cold and the rain and all that crap, the wind. And I've seen a lot of people actually commenting on our Twitter post about it would be really nice to have a closed, field where I could actually sell my tickets if I can't go. I know people struggle with that kind of stuff because I know I'm not looking to buy tickets on a December game whenever it's 15 degrees. I don't want to go.
No, there's a time in that season where I'm like, I'll go to games here.
Yep.
We're not going to games here.
I know people.
The cutoff.
Yeah. If anyone's like, hey, do you want to go to a Browns game this year? I'm like, well, we've only got a couple we can go to.
Yeah. What month is it?
Yeah. After this month, I ain't going.
And maybe we're pussies.
Maybe, but
whatever. I don't care.
What do you think, Justin?
So I'll say this. I do like going up there. There is a parking problem. Okay. There's a legitimate parking problem. If you shell out cash and park, we park over at the courthouse basically, and it's nice up there.
Yeah, but what time you got to get there to get in?
8:39.
Yeah, that's another
you're leaving it. So for us, we leave 7 a.m.
and you're getting home at 7, 8 o'clock at night,
grinding.
Going to the Browns game shouldn't have to be
an all-day
event. Maybe if I was 20 and I didn't have a wife and a kid, I would do that, and I would love to do that.
We got to bring them to the game.
Yeah, but guess who's not paying for the expensive tickets to go to a Browns game? Young people that don't have wives and kids. I'm sorry, maybe to a game, but
yeah.
I can't be going up. I can't be leaving my house at 6 o'clock in the morning, going up there, getting pissed drunk until the game starts, sitting there watching the game, getting stuck in traffic for 3 hours, leaving the game, and not getting home until 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
That's a fast track to a divorce.
Well, you got an open couch for me?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't have time for that. I think, and then they start shutting roads down.
For sure.
If you don't get into Cleveland by 8, 9 o'clock, you're screwed because they start shutting roads down. So then now you're parking 3 miles from the stadium, or you can only go around like Kings Boulevard or something is what it's called, the back way down by the lake, and the traffic for that is 5 miles long.
Correct.
And it moves at a snail's pace. You won't get into the stadium until the second quarter if you're lucky. So it's just, I look around where they do aerial shots of these other stadiums around the league, even other NBA arenas, and and they got a huge parking lot.
Yes.
And the parking is directed. You get in there in an organized fashion. You get out in an organized fashion. It's well lit. You know what I mean? For a night game, you're not just walking back through downtown Cleveland, like
True.
hoping you don't get mugged. And so I understand the talks of leaving it in downtown because getting into downtown sucks. Once you're in downtown, the atmosphere is
electric.
Yeah.
Correct.
I get that. But I don't want to, I don't want to walk to the stadium 2 miles in the freezing cold wind. I don't want to sit in the freezing cold wind for 4 hours and then have to walk 2 miles back to my car. I don't want to have to leave at 6 a.m. so I can get into Cleveland 7 hours before game time. Because if you try to get into Cleveland 2 hours before game time, you won't be at the game on time.
No. If you leave at 11, like from where we live, you're not getting into Cleveland. You're not even getting into Cleveland.
Yes.
Let alone get close to the stadium and get to the game.
So, like you said, if they can do it on the lake, put a roof on it, do some construction, make some more ports of entry, buy some more land, do something to make it more accessible, then I'm perfectly fine with leaving it where it is. But the accessibility right now, I don't go to more games because I just don't feel like putting up with it.
That's a lot. I mean,
I don't feel like doing it.
You really got to commit. I mean, you like you said, you have to commit a whole day, and it's just not. I love the Browns, obviously. I'll sit there and watch I'll start at 12 and I'll go till 4. But I got other crap I got to get done that day. You know what I mean? And I can't. Now, if I was going up to one game a season and it was a whole day event, okay, that's fine. But like you said, multiple games, season ticket holders, is a fast track to divorce unless you're like Justin, drag your wife along with you.
Right.
Yes.
And your children. I'll say this though. How do you guys feel though? So I don't know anything really about like what's available, like land plottage wise in like, let's say like a Parma or like Willoughby or like a suburb of Cleveland. I know a lot of people that they're like very against that because they want it to still be like in the city. They need it to be in the city. But like, for me, I'm like, okay, so we're 15 minutes closer to the game. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing for me is like, once you figure out a plan for getting to the game, you're good. You know what I mean? Like the first, I would say, season that me and my wife went up, we messed it up so many times. We wouldn't even get in the game till like halfway through the first quarter. Yeah. And that, it's a loss, at that point. It's still fun, and then you're waiting, like you said, 2 hours in a parking deck trying to get out. Like once you get a plan together and you're good, it's fine. But I wouldn't be even against it outside of Cleveland. I love Cleveland. I love going into the city, but I wouldn't be against it being in a suburb or especially if it was just a little bit more organized.
Like, I know it might sound crazy, but if you look around the league, most of these stadiums aren't where
in the city limits, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Right. Like the Giants and the Jets aren't even in New York.
Yeah.
They're in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The new Niners stadium is nowhere near. It's not in San Francisco. I forget exactly where it's at.
Santa something, right?
Yeah.
Santa Clara.
So
I don't know.
Because of accessibility. There's, you know what I mean? So listen, I love going to Cleveland. I love being driving up, seeing the skyline, getting into Cleveland, all that good stuff. But I happen to be there 7 hours before the game even starts. It's just ridiculous.
It is, for sure.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.